Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, powered by Come On Now Podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Shomot. I got a rant for you tonight, and I am going to try to keep it clean, but that might be hard. I don't know. We shall see. This is Rudy's Rant, where we talk about facts over feelings, and I got some facts for you. Before we jump in, thank you so much for your continued support of this channel. I greatly appreciate you so very much. We broke 6,500 subscribers. Help keep pushing us up the algorithm on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow. If you haven't done so yet, please jump on over to my other page, Rudy's Rant on YouTube. Building that one up a little slower with content over there, but it's more of a reaction type of page. And check out the videos I have over there. But please do subscribe over there. And, of course, subscribe here. No doubt about that. So let's jump in on the topic at hand. Caitlin Clark was honored to win the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Well, absolutely earned, absolutely deserved. Kudos to you, Caitlin Clark. Congratulations. But in winning that award, once again, the shitbirds are back out to talk shit about Caitlin Clark and do their damnedest to dismiss and demean her. I'm convinced at this point that every time something good happens for Caitlin Clark, Gilbert Arenas on Gil's Arena makes a point to bring up Sheryl Swoopes. Bring on Sheryl Swoopes. Get Sheryl Swoopes talking about Caitlin Clark because he knows that it's going to spark some controversy because Sheryl Swoopes is incapable of controlling her mouth. She's incapable of giving credit where credit is due. It has become absolutely, listen to Sheryl Swoopes speak is just like, it turns my stomach. I would rather listen to Nails on Chalkboard than listen to anything Sheryl Swoopes has to say. She's an utter buffoon. She is a miserable old woman. She is jealous as hell of the younger generation, especially Caitlin Clark. She claims that she has this, she grew up with white people and she has white friends, the typical I have whatever friends. But the fact of the matter is she doesn't like Caitlin Clark. She has a disdain for her. She is envious of her. She hits every one of the, I don't know if it's like the 7 deadly sins, but she's definitely got some of those in her. She is jealous, envious. And she does every time she's given the opportunity, she will find a way to dismiss Caitlin Clark. She does it and she has no problem doing it. So I'm going to show you a video from Sheryl Swoopes today on Gil's Arena where she's asked about Caitlin Clark winning Athlete of the Year. And yeah, she gives a haphazard, whatever you want to call it, haphazard comment on it in terms of it's great for the WNBA. But when she's really asked a question, you see the eye roll, you see the physical, like body language. Sheryl Swoopes has no poker face. Folks, if you ever want to take Sheryl Swoopes' money, get her on a poker table, she'll give it all to you because she has no ability to control her physical, her facial emotions because she hates Caitlin Clark. It's just that simple. So I'm going to put this on for you and I'm going to jump in. But, you know, Caitlin Clark also said some things in this Time Magazine article which disappoint me because she bet in the knee and she kissed the ring. But I'll get into that a little bit later in this video. But this is for you right now. Check this out.
Our Caitlin Clark has been named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. So the award, which has been distributed since 2019, Clark becomes the first WNBA player to ever win this award. We see the album cover, or excuse me, the magazine cover. I'm her fucking up. Look like an album cover, you know, with the baggy pants. But Sheryl, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to Caitlin Clark winning Time Magazine Athlete of the Year?
I don't think I'm surprised.
I gotta stop off the bat. I gotta start off the bat. Let's put this back. Why is her every response of her? She's asked the clear and succinct question. There's no deviating around it. She looks up to the right. Let's show her again. Let's show her again.
Yes, but Cheryl, I'll start with you. What's your reaction to Caitlin Clark winning Time Magazine Athlete of the Year?
I'm sorry. She looks to the left, which means she's a liar. That's like the tell sign for being considered a liar, right? You look to the left. If you look to the left, you're considered a liar. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna confirm that. If you look to the left, you are lying. It doesn't indicate it, but there are people that do say that, if you look to the left, they debunk it. But I tell you what she tells me is that she doesn't make contact with eyes. She looks away. She does that thing. I had to think about what I'm gonna say. So let's continue playing this thing.
I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious to know who the other candidates were, but the fact that
I gotta stop it again. You're curious to know about who the other candidates were. This is not the MVP. This is not an ESPY with nominees. This is not an Oscar that has nominees and a winner. This is a winner. Who were the other candidates when you were named MVP of the league, Cheryl? Who? Who were the other candidates when you were named National Player of the Year in college? Who? Really? Really? Is this what we're doing? Who are the other candidates? It's a selection. The magazine selected the person. That's it. There are no other candidates.
that's the very first WNBA player to ever win Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. It's pretty special. And my question is, like the criteria, is it based off of her performance on the court, which yeah, she had a great year, or is it more about the impact that she?
God, listen to Sheryl Swoopes' nails on chalkboard. What's the criteria now? What was the criteria when Simone Biles won? What was the criteria when LeBron James won? Because I can tell you this, when LeBron James won Time Athlete of the Year in 2020, I believe it was, let me confirm, 2020 Time Athlete of the Year. LeBron James was named Time Athlete of the Year in 2020. Let's go look back at LeBron James's stats. I believe that was the bubble championship year, which some people say was the toughest one. Other people say it was the easiest one. Depends on who you ask. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that in 2020, LeBron averaged 25 points, 7.8 assists, and 7.7 rebounds. In combination, because it's a 2020 is when they I'm gonna guess that it's based on the bubble year, which he averaged 25.3, 10.2 assists, 7.8 rebounds. He wasn't the best player in the NBA. He was not the best player in the NBA in 2020. Who was the 2020 NBA MVP? Giannis Antetokounmpo was the MVP. LeBron James finished second behind Giannis. Giannis averaged 29.5, 13.6 rebounds, 5.6 assists on 55.3% shooting. Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't the best player in the league, but he won the award. So what was the criteria then? You know what the criteria was? It was LeBron James. It was a Lifetime Achievement Award. For LeBron James, being named Athlete of the Year in 2020 was nothing more than a Lifetime Achievement Award. When Simone Biles won in 2021, I believe it was, Time Athlete of the Year, it was Simone Biles. What did Simone Biles do in 2021? What'd she do? That happened to be the Olympic year. So she won in a year where she won a bunch of medals in the Olympics. which is technically called the 2020. Actually, I apologize. I'm wrong. That was the year that she didn't do well in the Olympics. So why did she win the award that year? Why? See, that's where so was she asking that question in 2020 when Simone Biles won? Sorry, 2021 when Simone Biles won it? Because if you remember, the Olympics were held in 2021, and Simone Biles, bluntly, she quit. Whatever the reason was, she quit. She bowed out of the Olympics because things were not going right for her mentally. But she won Time Magazine Athlete of the Year in a year in which, for lack of better words, she failed. Was Sheryl Swoopes asking the question then about what the criteria was for Simone Biles being named 2021 Time Magazine Athlete of the Year? I guarantee you the answer is no. Was she asking the criteria for when last year, when Lionel Messi won Athlete of the Year for Time Magazine? Probably not. The only person who Sheryl Swoopes has a problem with winning this award is Caitlin Clark. But let's play it some more.
She had on the game this season.
I'm sure a mix of both. Obviously, WNBA saw record viewership numbers across the board. Her team's played in a lot of those games.
No, I think it's great, not just for her. I think it's great for the league.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody talked about the recognition that she brought to the W this season. So for her to be Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, I think it's really great for the league.
So in the Time article, Clark had a strong quote acknowledging her privilege. Here's what she said. I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then you continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. So, yeah, when you hear Caitlin say that, because Caitlin obviously in the media has been very,
She has a great marketing team.
Yeah, I'm not, I'm just hoping.
She's trying to stay at the barbecue, goddamn, because yeah.
She's the stag girl. She was invited to the bar.
Mhm.
She got the cookout. But when you hear that, thoughts on Caitlin Clark saying she wants to use her platform to elevate black women in the WNBA, have been instrumental, obviously, in building that league to what it is. Okay.
So what's the since it's 2019, right? I mean,
So you saw the facial expression from Sheryl Swoopes when Josiah Johnson, who's the host of Gil's Arena, asked her that question about her comments about black women in basketball. You see the reaction. She rolls. Let's bring it back so you can see it frozen on your screen. That's her reaction. Look at that. No response, no comment, no nothing. But if Paige Beckers had said that, she'd be clamoring, oh my God, Paige, you're a beast. Paige is awesome. Paige is this. Paige is that. Paige is amazing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something here. I'm going to take this screen off. Sheryl Swoopes is a pathetic human being. She's a pathetic human being. She is the worst kind of person on earth. She's a bitter, bitter old lady. She's just so miserable. And I really have, and I'll be real, I'm disappointed in Caitlin Clark. And I'm disappointed in Caitlin Clark because Caitlin Clark, in my opinion, she bent the knee. She kissed the ring. I don't know if she got set up in this interview with these types of questions, or if she knew that this was the type of question that would come to her. But she kissed the ring. Caitlin Clark has not disrespected anyone all year on any team, despite the fact that they talk trash about her constantly. The fact that Caitlin would mention privilege, it's crazy to me because she's a baller. This privilege bullcrap that exists within the WNBA does not exist in the NBA. In fact, white players in the NBA get no privilege. They're presumed slow, scrubby, and sorry. Presumed to be unable to jump, presumed to be unathletic, presumed to play no defense, presumed every negative thing you can think of. But yet in the WNBA, the presumption is virtually the same. But now the white athlete who's good has to kiss ass to be accepted, to be acknowledged. And Sheryl Swoopes is sitting here acting like her dog died because Caitlin Clark got named Athlete of the Year. Yeah, she said a few things that maybe sounded nice, but you know how she really feels because she follows it up rolling her eyes, asking about criteria. In fact, she went on to say that what about Asia Wilson? What about Simone Biles? What about Katie Ledecky? Oh, you're asking about if it's what she's done on the court? No, it's everything. That's what makes someone special. And I'm sorry that Sheryl Swoopes was never that level of a special athlete that she could transcend her sport. Caitlin Clark transcends women's basketball. She's bigger than women's basketball. These are facts. She could go play golf and have thousands of people show up, as she's done. She can go bowling, people will show up. She can go to a movie theater, people will show up. She can go play soccer, people will show up. And they'll also show up because she's humble to her fans. She appreciates her fans. She goes out of her way to make sure all her fans are taken care of. She will stay in other teams' arenas signing autographs after games because they're there to see her. And she acknowledges that. Instead, we got what's the criteria? The criteria one, Sheryl, is that she's elite. And you said she had a great year. No, she had an elite year. She was first team all WNBA as a rookie. She finished 4th in league MVP voting. She was the rookie of the year. She set countless records. She was a first for so many different statistics. In the same year, because this is a calendar year, she broke the all-time record for scoring in college basketball. She led the country in scoring. She led the country in assists. Oh, yeah. She broke the record in the WNBA for assists. Oh, yeah. She led the team to the playoffs that hadn't been there in 8 years. Oh, yeah. She led them to their first 500 record in 8 years. This is the player you're talking about, a player that's transcended the sport. Oh, yeah. She's drawn bigger crowds to sporting events than any player in the history of the league. The history of women's basketball, whether it's at Iowa, whether it's in March Madness for women or in the WNBA. She drew 18.6 million people on average to the national championship game. Don't tell me it was somebody else. It was Caitlin Clark. Every round she got to, the numbers got bigger and bigger and bigger because she was there. Because she was there. And you're going to sit here and you're going to question that. And you're going to say, what's the criteria? The criteria one is that she's an elite basketball player. Arguably to people, arguably to me, no doubt about it. There's other people, she's a top 5 player. To me, she's the best player in the league. She's the best player in the world. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. I don't even care. But the numbers that she produced in the WNBA this year and in college women's basketball, she set record upon record upon record. Attendance, viewership. Every game is viewed by over 1 million people. She's breaking NBA marks in regular season games. The ticket prices to go watch her play are through the roof. Every building she goes in, she sells out. People are moving their games from their small Band-Aid boxes to the NBA arenas. She changed the game. The women got a bigger TV deal from the NBA because of her. They got chartered flights because of her. They're getting noticed because of her, although they hate the notice because, oh my God, that comes with critique on your game. You will be critiqued on your game when more people watch you play. So that's her fault that y'all get critiqued now because people are noticing that y'all really suck and that she's way better than all of y'all motherfuckers. Sorry, F-bomb. But the fact of the matter is, in this article with Time Magazine, I mean, I didn't read it. I didn't read it in full. I read pieces, but there's a quote right here that Caitlin Clark said, which just bothers me because it's like you're bending the knee and kissing the ring. You're bowing down to the pressure, Caitlin, of these fucking activists who have been attacking you all year. Maybe you're doing it strategically, so maybe they back the fuck up off you and don't foul you as much. But they're dirty ass players who are going to try to hammer you no matter what. They're still jealous. It's not going to change, and nothing will change in how they act towards you. But when she says, I want to say I've earned every single thing, you have earned every single thing. But then she says, but as a white person, there is privilege. There is not privilege in basketball. There's no privilege in basketball for white people, for the whites. There's none. You presume to suck. No one believes you're good. And then people will think, oh, well, because you're good, they think you're better than you are. Really? Who had the biggest win total change this year in the WNBA? I'm pretty sure it was the Indiana Fever. Who was 1-8 and ended 20-20? The Indiana Fever. Whose team hadn't been to the playoffs since 2016 and went this year? The Indiana Fever. So yeah, you damn earned everything. There was no privilege to being a white basketball player. In fact, the mentality is from a lot of black basketball players is if we pound her fucking ass, she'll submit. Well, she'll submit. She'll quit. It happens everywhere. I understand. I get it. I love sports. I understand it. I get it. The white running back is an anomaly. Oh my God, Christian McCaffrey's the best running back in football. Or he was. It's probably Saquon Barkley again. But in no other sport do they care about if the white dude is the best player in the sport. Only in the WNBA, these old hags who don't like straight women, they have a problem with it. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. Great. Who cares? This league has been built on them. Again, great. Who cares? The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. Again, I'm going to say it for the third time. Who cares? Lisa Leslie's not getting an endorsement deal because she played 25 years ago. Like, that's not your job. And I know why. I understand why she's doing it. I understand why she said it. But no, I don't have to appreciate these players because those players aren't that damn good. Because there's no white player who's good in the NBA that has to go and make a speech like this and tell people, well, we got to acknowledge the black player in the NBA. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. We know who's great in the NBA. Michael Jordan's great. LeBron's great. Vince Carter's great. Isaiah Thomas is great. Tracy McGrady's great. Tim Duncan's great. Shaq is great. They've all been acknowledged. You don't need some white player to come say, well, all these other players are great. No, they're not. If they were, people would have been watching. If they were that good, people would have been watching them play. They're good basketball players. Yes, the league has been built on black basketball players in the WNBA. Great. Big freaking deal. In fact, no, it hasn't, if you want to be honest. The league has been built off the back of the NBA. The league is in existence because of the NBA. The league is still here because the NBA has been funding a money loser for 28 years. These are facts. Facts over feelings. So no, these players did not build the league because the league has been a disaster for 27 years until you got here. And I'm bugged that she would allow them to bully her into this, because this is a bully job that she would do this. Does she believe it? Sure, I'm sure she believes it. But Caitlin Clark is too nice while they take a shit on her, while they criticize her and demean her and belittle her. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate Black women, that's going to be a beautiful thing. The fuck are we talking? Bro, my wife is a Black, beautiful Black woman. I will elevate Black women all day long. This is hoops. This isn't freaking life. This is basketball. You know who determines who elevates them? They do. The athlete does. There's never been an issue elevating a Black male athlete in any sport. Ever. Not in the, okay, let me take that back. In the last 40 years, 50 years, you don't have to go out of your way to elevate the Black athlete in men's sports because their play elevates them. They don't need a conduit telling the world to look at them. I don't need Caitlin Clark to tell me to go look at Asia Wilson. I watch Asia Wilson for 20 minutes and I want to turn the TV off. But you know who I do want to watch play? I want to watch Kennedy Carter play. Because Caitlin Clark exposed me to her. I want to watch Arika Gumwale play. But I knew who she was from Notre Dame. But I don't want to watch Asia Wilson play because Caitlin Clark says, you need to pay attention to her. No, her game will either make me watch or turn the TV off. And I would rather turn the TV off than watch Asia Wilson play. And that's on the real. That is on the real. So I love Caitlin Clark, man. I'll say it again all day long. I love Caitlin Clark. I think she got sabotaged in this interview. And she said a lot of nice stuff. And she's a great person. She's dealt with abuse from these individuals in this league for a year. She's dealt with the constant rhetoric and nastiness. And she has Sheryl Swoopes once again, lion dog Sheryl Swoopes, taking a shit on her again because lion dog Sheryl Swoopes got nothing to do with her fucking time. Be an old, miserable hag. It's exhausting. The fact that you would sit here and dump on Caitlin Clark, Sheryl Swoopes, nothing surprises me because you're a sack of garbage, a royal piece of shit. But that's all I got. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this? Sheryl Swoopes once again sounding off on freaking Caitlin Clark and giving her opinion about criteria. Woman changed women's basketball in 5 months. You're sitting here asking about other candidates and criteria. Asia Wilson can't hold a freaking candle to Caitlin Clark. Stop it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And also, what do you think about Caitlin Clark? And from what I say is bowing down and kissing the ring. I wish she wouldn't have done that. I mean, she did what she did because she's a good person. And I do believe that she believes it. But I also think that it was unnecessary because she's already done it before. And you don't need to keep on doing it. She did it earlier this year in Saturday Night Live and no one noticed. So now they notice now? Fuck out of here. It really bugs me. But God bless you, Caitlin Clark. Congratulations on an awesome achievement. You earned it. Kick ass and bust all their asses next year and show them again who's the boss. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is Rudy's Rant. Come on now, the podcast over facts over feelings. Come on now.